some of the HST tasks. External airlocks gives us a little bit more room versus what we had on 109. We have, of course, the shuttle remote manipulator system, which basically the crew will be working off the end of that for all the EVA tasks. Orbiter boom sensor system, which has all our sensors to do all our inspections. Quickly, the super lightweight interchangeable carrier, the SLIC. You can see on here it has both the wide field camera 3 and the batteries. Orbital replacement unit carrier has all the COS, FTS, RSU, ACS repair. Flight support systems where the HST will be berthed and it'll be its work site. The Mule multi-use lightweight equipment carrier. See here we have the manipulator foot restraint. That's what the crew will be working off at the end of the RMS. Okay. If I can get still number 3, please. Basically, just wanted to show you quickly here where the replacement SIC and DNH is located for launch, and we'll be bringing the old one. That's in the back of the Mule. Couldn't see that very clearly in the previous pictures, but that's where it's at. Okay. As far as the EVA team, if we can have still number 4, please. With John and Drew, no changes to that. John and Drew will be doing EVAs 1, 3, and 5. If I can get the next still, please. And Mike and Mike will be doing EVAs number 2 and 4. And of course, you guys will get the opportunity to talk to those guys later on this afternoon. Okay, so what I want to do here is just quickly go through the timeline. Let's see if we can go ahead and run video 2, please. Of course, a good flight day 1 starts out with a successful ascent. This is a video from STS-109. Still an awesome sight every time you look at this. Yeah, silence is good for a couple of seconds. There we go. You can see here the crew doing some post-insertion training for 125. See, flight day 1, you know, your standard getting the rocket vehicle configured for on-orbit activities. Standard, basically, post-insertion tasks that we'll be doing, and flight day 1 tasks, umbilical well imagery downlinks, getting the cabin set up. One of the things that we have been adding here, I know I'll talk a little heading here, is, of course, when we also do the SSC, the checkout for the Hubble folks, make sure we have a good work sites for all the various carriers. See, one of the activities that we're going to be doing, and you've seen this before, why don't we go ahead and run video number 3. As you guys know, we're not performing the RPM, the pitch maneuver for this flight, so we had to come up with some substitutes for that. On flight day 1, we'd be doing a crew cabin survey, upper crew cabin survey, that usually those photos get taken during the RPM. It's about a 45-minute task, and we'll have to do this in the daylight, so we're constrained already on flight day 1 to all the activities we need to do, and just basically in daylight. Let's see, flight day 2, basically what we'll be doing there is depressing the 10-2 to get the crew cabin in a good environmental condition, and basically depressing the 10-2 allows us to minimize the pre-breathes required for the EVAs. Let's see, why don't we go ahead and play video 4, please. Of course, no flight day 2 is not complete without the surveys that we have to do. You can see right here we have, we're unberthing the OBSS. Basically, we'll be doing the, and also after the unberthing OBSS, we go ahead and do the FSS setup. This is basically just pivoting the table to 90. You can see here the start of the starboard wing leading edge survey. And what we've added for this flight is a belly tile survey, and we'll be using the ITVC to complete that. In the standard, and you can see we're doing the starboard side here, finishing up with the wing leading edge. And one of the our a nominal station flight, the timeline's full, but doing all the surveys that we have on flight day 2, we have 9.5 hours of total surveys, and actually 8.5 in a row after we do the unburst. So it's going to be, and usually on a station flight you break that up with a meal. We don't have that luxury because we only have so much time during the flight to complete that on flight day 2. Here we're going for the nose cap survey. Again, this should be familiar to you folks. And we'll, after this is complete, press on with the port wing survey. And you'll see when, again, standard point wing surveys for the wing leading edge. We have specific points we break out of, and then we're going ahead and do the port belly tile. This one takes about almost 2 hours to complete. And these are the same resolution or detection capability that you would have with the RPM. We'll work with the engineers to make sure that was so. We have very good overlap, and we'll get all the critical areas required, just like an RPM. You can see finishing up the port wing survey. Of course, and after we complete this, we also do the standard ohms digital pictures out of the cabin. And as part of the Flight Day 2 survey, also getting some ohms pod pictures from the RMS itself. And also, you guys probably remember on STS-119 we added the T0 surveys. We've also added that into our timeline, another 15 minutes. So again, it makes our Flight Day 2 inspection timeline very packed. After we get all this complete, the crew goes through their rendezvous tools checkout and then getting ready for Flight Day 3 activities. Flight Day 3 is the day everyone's been waiting for, to go ahead and re-grapple the HST and start with the servicing mission objectives. And we can go ahead and run video 5, please. This is the Atlantis going ahead and rendezvousing with the HST. We do an R-bar approach. And I wish it would go that quickly, but we'll do an R-bar approach, get grappled. You can see the crew here training, getting ready to get grappled. And this, again, like a standard rendezvous, it takes, when we get on console, it'll be 5 hours before we actually grapple it. And then another hour or so before we get it berth. This is some STS-109 footage of the rendezvous and getting ready to berth it. Or rendezvous and getting ready to grapple it. Again, we're all excited about seeing the telescope again. I know we put a lot of neat pictures in here because we haven't seen this for 7 years. Here we go. There's grapple. Okay, you can see here grappled and getting ready to berth. As you know, we swapped out those solar arrays on 109. Here we are, Megan and Mike Massimino will be going through and getting it berthed. And then once it's berthed, you see here shortly that they'll be doing, right after that, a quick RMS survey of the minus V3 side. Just see how it looks. Up shortly. And here's the RMS survey, just to make sure everything looks pretty good before we go out. See if there's anything different we would have to do on EVA-1 to support that. So after we get this complete, you'll see we, and these are actually the photos that Ray J will be taking, digital pics of that. And after that's completed, we go ahead and slew the arrays to 0 degrees to set it up for the EVA the next day. See, basically after that's complete, crew press on with the EV1 procedures review, get ready for 5 back-to-back EVAs starting on Flight Day 4. And what I plan on doing is I wasn't going to talk about any of the EVAs. I'll let Tomas discuss that when we get to him. So what I wanted to do is go up to Flight Day 8. And Flight Day 8, after we get complete with EVA 5,